All right. Hi, this is Rhonda Green, and we're going to talk about the general candidate election withdrawal and the dates July 3rd through July 15th. Now, after July 3rd afternoon and before noon on July 15th, these are the last few days that a candidate can voluntarily withdraw from the election. Now, and they cannot be replaced. If they have voluntarily withdrawn, they cannot be replaced by the political party that nominated them. Now, there are ways around this, and like if the candidate dies, if they're thrown in prison, if they move away, that kind of thing. There's a way to deal with that, and we're going to look at the Indiana guide and Democrat or Republican Party late ballot vacancies, the political party candidate, withdrawal of a candidate from the election district, disqualification due to a felony, which we got a few of that around here. Anyway, issuance of a court order, successful challenge, all of these, they can be replaced. A candidate can be replaced on the ballot almost right up until the election itself, but not if they voluntarily withdraw. And especially during this sweet period of July 3rd to July 15th. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at, I'm just going to widen this out. So this is the Indiana election calendar, and it even has it on here. So you can see July 3rd, 2024, that the deadline by noon for the Republican Party to file a certificate of selection stating that a vacancy in the general election ballot resulting from a vacancy on the primary election ballot has been filed or filled. And the same thing for the Libertarian Party, where you have a convention. You leave your convention open, and you bring in anybody that you can that wants to run for office. And the same thing for a write-in. And right below here, you can see July 15th by noon for any candidate to voluntarily withdraw from the general ballot. Right? Now, there are a few exceptions. I think the statewide, but have until July 15th to fill about it through a convention on the state level. I'm not real sure, but it doesn't have anything to do with our local, the county and below. And so there. Anyway, here's what that looks like. The CAN 24 is if you want to approach your opponent or anybody else, and I've done this in the past, and I know everybody's like, oh, we'll go over that. But yeah, and it also has the instructions right here. Okay, by noon, school board, by noon on July 15th, and the small offices. The only thing that it doesn't qualify for is you have until August 1st if your town that you're running for that government 3,500 or below is August 1st. I mean, so there are some kind of like stragglers, but for the general election, for the local people especially, going up to an opponent, and I would, because, okay, you might be getting upset with me right now, and that's okay, because I know that the whole thing is to get as many people to run as possible. In Washington County, the corruption is so thick and so historic that no one else really runs. We've had a few more Democrats starting to run, but the Libertarians have been the second party for a very long time. And for one, because no one ever wins except a Republican in Washington County. If you are the Republican candidate, then in all likelihood, you don't have an opponent and you're going to win and get into office. Now, I don't believe. Okay, all right. So I've asked people in the past to voluntarily withdraw their name from the ballot, and I've handed them a Can 24 and explained to them why. For one, a candidate a lot of times will be asked to run. A person will be asked to run with having no idea what's expected of them in this position. And in a lot of ways, that's how a lot of our corruption starts, is that they don't know what it is and don't really read the law. And, well, they've always done it this way, so I'm going to do it this way. And we have a lot of illegal boards, illegal hearings. The public access laws are a joke, and you can't find the meeting. You don't know what they do. You don't know where they do it, when they do it. I mean, just really savage incompetence. So by going ahead and going up to your opponent and saying, look, okay, we're going to have a savage campaign. You may want to think about not running for office. I know they may not be a bad person, but they're not competent. A good example would be Biden. A lot of people have asked him not to run. In a way, this is very similar, but on a local level. And as an opponent, if they do resign, then that ballot position cannot be filled again for this election. Just saying. So the other candidate may be incompetent, but not a bad person, or and the campaign's going to be savage. Of course, my campaign this year is, and my last campaign, because I'm just tired of having people vote on me. And my campaign is Green for Commissioner. Please don't shoot my dog. And we're going to go ahead and address state level things as well as local police police stuff. And then my husband is running for surveyor, and the zoning board and all the officials on it have had illegal boards, illegal meetings. There is no even looking at the laws. The current surveyor, although she is an awesome person personally, is incompetent and has broken the law several times. We have a lot of problems concerning land. People buy a certain amount of acreage, like 59 acres, and find out they only have 57 after they have it surveyed. People building a building on what they think is their property and come to find out that the property line splits it in the middle. A lot of this could be resolved or avoided if they actually followed the law. And even though the current surveyor is a great person, she is incompetent. But she's also in a corrupt situation where there can be retaliation. You know, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. Anyway, so yes, the dates, July 3rd afternoon to July 15th before noon in 2024 are the dates where if a candidate voluntarily withdraws, the party that nominated them cannot fill that vacancy. That vacancy will remain empty for the general election. Alrighty. Just a nugget of knowledge. So this is Rhonda Green. Thank you for listening.